Welcome back, friends. We are back for another free library courtesy of our friends at Fracture Sounds. This is the 19th edition of their Blueprint series. We're taking a look at Textural Cello. It runs on the free Contact player. Let's dive in and check out how it sounds. Yeah, you know that I've got some shimmer on there. So let's take a look at the interface. If you have their other Blueprint libraries, you'll recognize this. We have a dynamics control, which is mapped to your mod wheel. You have scatter control, which randomly places the sound within the stereo spectrum. We have a delay. We got some modern, some tape. You can sync it, you can mess around with the time, feedback, saturation. We got their reverb controls. Yeah, I know I overuse shimmer. Atmospheric layers, which I will demonstrate in a minute. You can also solo the atmospheric layers so that you're not hearing the original source signal. And then you have your 4 articulations: free trim, collegno, spikes, bends, additional controls within each one of those. You can also shift click and layer articulations if you like. Additionally, if you feel the need, you can unload articulations if you're worried about RAM, but these are running at a pretty lean RAM, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. And then we have some additional controls. We have dynamic range and tightness. It is moved all the way to the left-hand side, so you can hear the bow sound. If you move it all the way right, it'll be beneficial if you're doing like a short kind of ostinato thing. So why don't I shut off the mic and we can mess around with some of these controls. So as you can see, quite a varied amount of control within those articulations. Let's take a look and see how I use it within the composition. In the purple, we have 4 instances of the Textural Cello. In the orange, we have 2 instances of their music box. In the blue, we have 1 instance of Gentle Winds. In the slightly mustard color, we have Textural Piano's Lucid Dreams preset. In the yellowish, we have their feedback guitar. In the pink, we have their bass guitar. And then in the dark blue, we have the drum kit. And I did some additional processing but everything was in the box, no additional plugins used, with the exception of I've been experimenting with waves, curves, EQ. Aside from that, everything is within the box in Logic. No other paid plugins were used. The cello bends. So because of that bend sound, you have almost a kind of unsettling quality, which I really like. And then a couple of their Caligno patches. Let's listen to these one at a time. So as you can see, what I had going on there was I put the scatter all the way to the right so I could have the stereo signal moving back and forth, and then a whole lot of delay to kind of move around, dance around in there. Get a little rhythmic part going on. And then we have almost like an octave bass part with the same sound. Just to try to get a little rhythm moving through there, what I did was I soloed only the atmospheric layer. Very, very background. And then a couple instances of their music box. The only thing I did with this first instance is I pitch shifted it down, added a little bit of fat effects from Logic, and then of course a little bit of EQ. Let's listen to that. Just wanted something to run underneath. And then the composition actually started, oddly enough, with the music box track with a whole lot of reverb going on. So let's listen to that. And then we have their gentle winds. Once again, I soloed out only the atmospheric layer to use it more as kind of a pad sound. Almost has like a choral kind of quality to it. And then their textural piano, which I did a review recently about. It's the first time that they brought over their layered engine into the blueprints. Then we have their feedback guitar. Nothing else added to that other than a little bit of EQ. We got their bass guitar. Then for their drum kit, it is literally just kick and the snare. But I did add some effects in there, so we'll check that out. I did a little bit of EQ, rolled off the high end, some fat effects, and a gate. Let's listen to it without the effects, and then I'll add them one at a time. So as you can see, I manipulated the sound a little bit, but those were all free tools within Logic. You can have a whole lot of fun with the blueprints. I've done several of these reviews, and I always stick to my guns by using only free sounds. At the time of launch of this library, their spring sale will be running, which will give you 20% off of individual products and up to 40% off of their bundles. The sale will run until May 14th, 2025. So if you've been interested in any of their libraries, now's the time to save a little bit of cash. That's it for me, my friends. Happy composing. Catch you in the next one.